Polish composer Frédéric Chopin is undoubtedly best known for his solo piano compositions, as they make up the vast majority of his work. Widely recognized for their lush romanticism and depth of expression, Chopin's solo piano works are admired the world over by listeners and performers alike, and contain some of the most recognizable passages in all of Western music. No doubt you yourself have hummed the iconic tune of his funeral march, most likely in jest to a friend on his way to the principal's office, for instance. But we think there's a lot more to it than being the official soundtrack to all things doom and gloom. First off, it's the third of 4 movements of a larger work, the Sonata No. 2 in B-flat minor, composed in 1839. The third movement stands out from the rest of the sonata for its funebrial disposition, but it's the opening theme that is the one everyone is familiar with. Especially interesting about this opening phrase is that it is one of the earliest examples in Romantic music of the evocation of almost complete stasis. We have that familiar theme, and while that theme is clearly stated, it's almost as if its intention is to be fully atmospheric and not merely thematic. There are indeed some earlier examples of this kind of musical inertia, in late Schubert for example, or the opening measures of Beethoven's Ninth Symphony, where a lengthy perfect fifth keeps us in suspended apprehension about its musical intentions. It ultimately defines itself as a dominant of D minor in the larger context of the movement, but it's so extended that it becomes its own kind of liminal state where you have a sense of expectation, but there's also a sense of mystery because what will happen, what it is you're expecting, is not clear. Chopin does this, and in doing so evokes a feeling of uncertainty of death and all the emotions that are wrapped up in those feelings. What does it mean? Where do our souls go after we die? Or perhaps the staidness of the theme, which allows a kind of hypnotism to set in, is meant to promote an appropriate state of somber reflection. There certainly is a sense that Chopin, and the other composers of this time who were composing in this way, were seeking something deeply reflective and otherworldly. Chopin breaks free of this somber B-flat minor reverie and into what sounds like a hopeful and brave attempt at triumphing over death. But this is short-lived, and after only a handful of measures we are returned to the fateful dirge. But this theme is rich in beauty and longing. The music blossoms as a much fuller breadth of the piano's range is taken advantage of to powerfully dramatic effect, culminating in 2 memorable trills rumbling nobly in the bass, inspired perhaps by the first movement of Schubert's Last Piano Sonata. Then out of nowhere comes the panacea to all of this gloom and uncertainty, an extended lullaby in D-flat major that would be at home among Chopin's collection of nocturnes. We are reassured and comforted. The grave is not victorious. There is such a serene buoyancy to the music in this passage that one can imagine the soul of the deceased floating free and easy above the procession of mourners. But on the ground, the burden of loss remains with the living. The grief is for us alone, for the bleak, sad tones of the movement's opening theme make one final appearance to close the movement. So what do you think? Did this make you hear Chopin's Funeral March in a fresh new way? Or does it still only evoke images of Halloween and old Looney Tunes cartoons? Let us know what you think in the comments. If you like this video, click the like button, and please subscribe to keep up with all the latest videos. And as always, thank you for watching.